Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for March 12th, 2025. Hope you're all having a good week so far. Kevin, how have you been?
Good. Just started my new classes for school and everything like that. Work's been pretty steadily, so can't complain about that. I'm wondering is your school going good now since you had your week off?
It's actually 2 weeks off, so I start on Monday.
Very nice.
So, as far as me, I celebrated my birthday last week. We had some fun times, went to some fun places. I went to the Academy Museum over the weekend and checked out some of the new exhibits they got going on. Definitely going to go back after September because of the Jaws 50th anniversary. They're going to be doing an exhibit for that. Maybe we can go there before Halloween Horror Nights. That would be kind of fun. But anyhow, let's go ahead and jump into the stories for this week. And up first, I mean, we already knew it. John Wick 5 was announced, but it is now confirmed. And the film is in the early stages at this moment. This was confirmed by working at Lionsgate, saying that they are actively working on writing the script and getting this ready to go. So I don't know what they're going to do next, though.
Well, I'm excited to see where they take this next chapter, I guess. So,
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Next up, Disney Plus MCU characters may appear in the upcoming Avengers films, which they should because they're a part of the MCU. But hopefully, no one gets like butthurt about how if they show like 2 seconds of a character and they get an outrage. Probably will happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, honestly, they should just put everyone in. They've already built up an entire, saga worth. Like, they should put everyone in. As long as they make sense to be there, put them in. It just makes sense. I mean, I'd rather see people from the MCU that we haven't gotten in a while, like Moon Knight, or, I'd like to see Daredevil again in a movie. I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. I want to see more She-Hulk. I thought she was great, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Speaking of, Robert Downey Jr. apparently is currently writing his own backstory for Doctor Doom based on research from the comics, and is working with one of the writers for the film, which I'm all here for it. If he wants to develop why he is the way he is and kind of why he's doing the things that he's doing, go for it. I'm totally here for it.
I feel like it makes the character that you play a lot more grounded too, because he knows his stuff now because he went back and did his research, and people will get, maybe comic book people will get like little references that he makes, which is really cool.
Yeah, 100%. So excited to see what this is going to be.
Yeah, me too. But next up, work is beginning on A Quiet Place 3. Cool. I mean, we technically got Quiet Place 3, which was Quiet Place Day 1, which hopefully they make this one rated R. Just saying. Just
it won't happen.
I know, but
they'll keep it PG-13 because they'll make more money. Or they think they will. Even though Deadpool and Wolverine is R-rated and made more money than anything else really in the whole phase, but whatever. Next up, G-Kids will be releasing the newly restored 4K version of Princess Mononoke on March 26th exclusively in IMAX theaters. I am going to be there day one.
Very cool. Yeah, I did not know this was happening.
Like a 4K Ghibli film in IMAX? Dude, I'm going to be there.
He already has his money down already on it.
Right? If I could get a ticket, I would. But this is nothing but a good thing. I think more anime needs to be restored to 4K. I own the Ghost in the Shell 4K version, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm all down for it.
Do you like seeing all like the pencil lines and everything like that? If it's in, okay, yeah, me too.
Remind me that it's art. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Justin Lin will direct Keanu Reeves' Berserker. I think that's how you say it.
That's how you pronounce it. You got it.
It's the comic book, right?
It's the comic book that Keanu Reeves created. Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. If you don't know, Justin did direct some of the Fast and the Furious and Star Trek Beyond as well. Cool. I'm all for it. I mean, if Keanu Reeves gets a little bit more screen time in this, or he's behind the camera, that would be very interesting to see.
He said it was like a 33% chance he would direct himself in it. But we now know it's Justin Lin. So,
yeah.
Speaking of anniversaries, in celebration of its 50th anniversary, Monty Python and the Holy Grail will be heading back to theaters on Sunday, May 4th and Wednesday, May 7th. We are covering this on the Movie Club coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
So, this is going to be a really exciting time for you to go and see it if you've never seen it before.
If you haven't, it's so much fun. It's a fun movie to go see.
It's a perfect movie. So, but next up here.
Yeah. Amazon confirms the next James Bond will be a British male. Christopher Nolan is the top choice to direct it. Okay. I mean, so they're just sticking with the same thing, right? Yeah.
I think there was a lot of misplaced anxiety that it could be a woman 007 in the next movie. And even when it was the original producers, they said, no, James Bond is a male. It will always be a male. But I guess then there was some weird anxiety that it would be like an American or like a French person, which wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. So
no.
Amazon just confirmed that it'll still be a British male. It could be black, Asian, white. We don't know. But it will be a British male, which doesn't matter who it is, because 007 is just a number. And the James Bond is a name given to that number. So, and I mean, Christopher Nolan wants to direct it. I think Amazon purchased it away from them, the rights from them, so that they could get Christopher Nolan to direct it and do, his version. Who knows? But
all for it.
Yeah, as long as it's not
if Chris gets that directing title, yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, so we'll have to wait and see, though. Next up, a new Cloverfield movie has received some positive updates from the director, who was announced back in 2022, saying that the film is not like a priority for Paramount, but it is something that's still on their list that they want to do, and this would be a direct sequel to the original film, not a multiverse Cloverfield movie like 10 Cloverfield Lane or the Cloverfield Project or whatever it was on Netflix. So it would be a sequel to the first one, which I would love to see. I love the original. So
I want them to be more positive about it as well, just because the first one was just so good, and I feel like a little bit of ahead of its time with like the monster genre a little bit, especially the what's it called, POV camera was really cool as well. So hopefully they can give this time a lot of time to simmer and just don't take it too fast. I mean, it's already been 2-3 years since they announced the director, so they're taking their time, but that's just because it's not a priority. I mean, the found footage genre is pretty dead. I would say that this will probably be a normal film, but we'll see. Hopefully we get some other monsters as well besides just Clover itself. Yeah, that would be cool. Barbarian director Zach Cregger's Resident Evil movie will be released on September 18th, 2026. It has to be better than the other Resident Evil movies.
I mean, as long as it's a modicum better than the ones we've already received, I think it'll be good. I do have high hopes for this because Zach Cregger did a really good job with Barbarian. Even though I wasn't that pleased with the story of Barbarian, I think that the actual direction of the film was very good. So I'm very excited to see this happen.
Yep.
If anyone wasn't disappointed in theaters by this yet, you can be at home. Mufasa the Lion King will begin streaming exclusively on Disney Plus on March 26th. I believe that is going to be in 2 weeks' time. So 2 weeks from today. I'm sure some people have liked this. Some people have hated it. Some people have been right in the middle. I was somewhere right in the middle on this one. It's okay. If you want to watch it, go right ahead. You're going to be able to.
Gotcha. Very cool. Well, another movie that's going to be streaming is Y2K. Will be streaming on April 4th on Max, which is on a Friday. Cool. I mean, I wanted to see that in theaters, didn't get a chance to, so maybe I can sit down and watch this one at home.
Yeah, I think you and Nadia would get a kick out of this movie.
Very cool.
Because it's definitely like a horror comedy, and I think you guys would have a lot of fun. Very similar to like The Blackening, but with a time period, not so much like the racial element of it, which I think is pretty fun.
Very cool.
Last up here, the director of La La Land, Damien Chazelle, his next movie will be called Evel Knievel on Tour, and will star Leonardo DiCaprio. Also in talks somewhere to star in the movie is Adrian Brody, off the heels of his Oscar win for The Brutalist. I think this is a really cool idea. I like how, Damien Chazelle is like kind of carving this niche where he's making movies about tortured artists and tortured like people who create things. Obviously, we got that with Whiplash. We got that with La La Land, since one's an actor and one's a musician, and we got that with Babylon, which Babylon was a slew of characters that were all artists in some way or working for the movie industry. So I like how he's kind of doing things from that point of view, and this time obviously being Evel Knievel.
Yeah, would be very interested to see what the story is and how the trailer looks as well, because I like Evel Knievel, all of his stunts and everything, and hopefully they put a little bit more backstory into him, because I don't really know about him. I just know his stunts.
Yeah, I mean, you mostly just know the name. It was so far after our time, so... But that's it for the news stories this week. Not a whole lot going on, and that is okay. So... but let's go ahead and dive into the trailers that came out this week. Kevin, did anything stand out to you?
Lilo and Stitch looks kind of fun, and Thunderbolts also looks a lot of fun, especially with the new villain that we don't really see, but we kind of have speculations about. And everything else, not really. Those top two.
Yeah, I think it was really funny. This new trailer for Thunderbolts was shouting out the indie movie pedigree of its cast and crew, which the crew don't get a lot of mentions on Marvel movies, so that was really nice to see. I think Lilo and Stitch looks like the best live-action adaptation we're going to get.
Yeah, and
I think it looks great.
I'm so down for it, too, especially when they're at the end at the portal, when he changes back into an alien. Like, that was flawless to me, I feel like. But I just have to see it in theaters. But it just looks so much fun, and it looks like it. I'm so down for it.
Yeah, and it looks like it'll have the same heart as the original movie, and this one makes sense. Like, you can do it with the technology. The CGI looks really good. I'm all here for it. I think it looks great. Also, Spinal Tap 2: The End Continues. Spinal Tap is one of my favorite mockumentary comedies of all time. I'm glad to see them coming back, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool.
So, but that's it for the trailers. Let's go ahead and dive into the box office, Kevin.
Yeah, the box office. Number one is Mickey 17 with 19.5 million. Captain America: Brave New World with 8.4 million. The Last Breath is 4.1 million in third. The Monkey still hanging on there with 3.9 million, and Paddington in Peru rounding out the top five was 3.7 million.
Yeah, honestly, pretty surprised to see Mickey 17 take first place, given that it is... I mean, it's got more... It's not like Parasite. It's got more big celebrity names in it, and I think that definitely helped drive it over Captain America this week. Also, it does have some pedigree in the name of Bong Joon-ho and being the director of Parasite, although I do know this opened below expectations, but I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get to the reviews. I'm happy that it's in first place.
Nice. Very cool.
Alrighty. And let's go ahead and dive into the movies that are coming out this week. Up first, we have Novocaine. When the girl of his dreams is kidnapped, a man incapable of feeling physical pain turns his rare condition into an unexpected advantage in the fight to rescue her. This movie looks really fun, and the reviews have been pretty positive, all things considered. So super excited to see what this movie can do with the genre. Hopefully it's something different. And it's really nice to see Amber Midthunder in another movie outside of Prey. So up next after that is Opus, the new A24 horror adjacent film, I guess you could say. A writer travels to the compound of a pop icon who disappeared years ago. Surrounded by his cult of sycophants, as well as a group of fellow journalists, she soon discovers his twisted plans for the gathering. This almost looks very similar to like The Menu, which is kind of interesting in terms of like his personality and going to this
Sounds like a
exclusive
cult.
place. Yeah, it's not getting like the best reviews. It's kind of getting middle of the road, but we can wait and see how it is. I'll probably end up seeing it this weekend. Up after that, coming out on Friday on Netflix, is The Electric State. An orphaned teen hits the road with a mysterious robot to find her long-lost brother, teaming up with a smuggler and his wisecracking sidekick. This is based off of the extremely popular art book that came out. I forget the name of the artist, but this is attempting to inject a story into the mix. It has been receiving some pretty low reviews, but maybe you can check it out for yourself and see what you think. Reportedly, this movie cost $320 million. If you ever wonder why your Netflix subscription price is going up, this is why. And finally, Black Bag, a movie that I was expecting to kind of come in with a fizzle, is getting some really good reviews from critics. When intelligence agent Catherine Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, also a legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or his country. This comes to us from director Steven Soderbergh, who brought us Presents earlier this year. So, kind of a busy year for him. It's got a big cast: Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, Pierce Brosnan. We have Regé-Jean Page is in the movie. Naomi Harris. A lot of names here. So, this looks like the kind of movie your parents would love, but actually seems like it's going to be pretty good as well. So, who knows? Alrighty. And that's it for all the written, scheduled, whatever portions of the show.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, so we can just get into the movies we watched this week. Kevin, you watched 2 movies, it looks like.
I did.
Unless
you watched 3.
I am mistaken. No, okay. So we'll just go back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
So up first for me, I'm actually hold on, we gotta change the music here because we're not on the original stuff. All right. Up first for me was Mickey 17, which came out in theaters last weekend, and I really enjoyed this movie. I do not think it is as good as Parasite, but it's really nice to see Bong Joon-ho back in the director's seat. I think a lot of people are going to see this movie as an anti-capitalist, anti-Trump type film because, what's his name? Mark Ruffalo plays a very Trumpian type character. But I think that the film is more distinguished as something more like an anti-religion movie because of the religious overtones of everything going on, which I love. Robert Pattinson is Oscar-worthy in this movie. I'm just going to say it right now. I hope he gets a nomination because he's fantastic as the multiple versions of Mickey. Also fantastic are Naomi Aki, but Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette are also incredible in this movie. They're hysterical at points, and they're actually kind of scary at others. Also, we need more Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun's great. He was in Walking Dead. He's even better in Invincible and recently in Minari, which he was Oscar nominated for. He's a good actor. We need more of him. I think it's a really fun, well-written movie. It's exceptionally performed, and the creatures are kind of weird at first, but they get really cute by the end of it. So, gotta love that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Next up for me, I just watched the whole series, so might as well watch the movie that the people wanted, the ending of it. So Neon Genesis Evangelion, the end of Evangelion. And this was fantastic. I mean, I still think the TV show ending might have been one of my favorites, better than the movie one. And I get why I like the movie one as well, but the different aspect of the TV show to this, I absolutely love. This was like here you go, you idiots. This is the movie that you wanted. And it shows. He still put a lot of passion into his work and everything. But I love the action in this movie. I mean, the art style, you can't go wrong with it. It got a little bit bumped up too, just because it was a movie instead of a TV show, and you can definitely see that as well. But the story in this movie is just the last 3 episodes, like you said, like 2 weeks ago. But it kind of emphasizes on everything about what is going on, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I gave it 100 out of 100. Please go watch Evangelion and this movie just to see how good that TV show is.
There you go. Especially Asuka's fight to the death is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That scream she lets out when she's stabbed through the head is...
Yep.
That's not going to leave my head anytime soon. Well, from a perfect 100 out of 100 movie, we go down to a 0 out of 100 with the, admittedly, indie low-budget horror comedy film Thanksgiving. I remember watching this in high school because we were edgy in high school. We wanted to watch the things that you couldn't find anywhere or that were hard to find. And I remember we were watching Thanksgiving because it literally just starts out with a pilgrim woman running through the woods with just her tits showing. And yeah, for no reason. And she's running through the woods and she's tripped. And then this puppet turkey that can talk, the first line, he's the bad guy in the movie. The first thing he says in this movie is not anything clever. He literally just looks down at this woman who he's about to kill and just says, "Nice tits, bitch." And then the movie just starts. And it's really bad. It's atrocious. It's horribly written. It's horribly acted. There are several points when the actors look at the camera and you can clearly tell that they are faking everything they're doing. Working on the engine of a car. I'm just going to masturbate this hose and maybe that will make this thing work. It's atrocious cinematic trash. I do think it is a movie that, like, if you like horror comedies, if you like horror, it should be on your list to at least watch once, because it's like, this is one of those movies it's like what's the movie I'm thinking of? The really bad one with the birds. Birdemic. Shock and Terror. It's like that. At least that movie has some charm to it. This one does not. So there's that. We'll get to your second movie.
Yeah, my second one is The Equalizer. I was watching this movie and I realized I have watched this movie already, but I forgot to letterbox it. So I knew exactly what was going on the entire time. But you know what? Might as well finish the movie that you're halfway into it already. And I gave it an 80 out of 100. I might be maybe on the other side of the fence here, but I'd rather see Denzel Washington in a Jason Statham movie like this all day, just because of how Denzel is the calm, cool, collective guy with a different past. And I can't wait to watch the other two that are on, I think, Peacock right now or something like that, just to see if they can either build his story up or and the action as well, because the action did get better along the ways in the movie, which I thought was really, really nice to see, a little bit of improvement, and just to see if they don't make the mistake of having the same movie every single time, just calling it 1, 2, and 3, pretty much. So an 80 out of 100, still a really fun movie.
All right. And lastly for me is, if I wasn't in a bad enough mood already today, I wanted to watch a true crime documentary while I was working. So I put one on, and it wasn't good. It's There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane from 2011. I give it a 41 out of 100. This is an incredibly frustrating documentary because this details the events of Diane Schuler, who had her 5 kids in the car with her, her nieces, and then her daughter and son, I believe. And they were on the freeway, and she ran headfirst into another vehicle, and then that vehicle hit another vehicle. So 8 total people died, including the main perspective, Diane. But one of the children did live. What the problem is that this film is entirely based from her family's point of view, because it came out that her blood alcohol level was 0.19.
Okay.
Which 0.08 is the legal limit in New York, I think is where this was. And also she had THC in her system, so she had used marijuana or had a gummy or whatever. But the entire documentary is her family insisting that she was not an alcoholic and never did drugs. And then they're presented with the evidence that she was, and they still refuse to accept it. And then the last 20 minutes, which is the best part of the documentary, is a recreation of, or kind of showing footage and photos of what happened in the accident, and then like an animation of what they hit would have looked like and where cars ended up, kind of what they would show you like in a courtroom.
Yeah.
That stuff is great because they show pictures of her body, which is, I think more documentaries should do that about drunk driving and stuff to really deter people from doing it. But the problem is that like this family refuses. They will not admit that she had drunk anything ever. It wasn't an alcoholic. Yet the sister-in-law, who's like the main person they interview, starts smoking in the documentary and says, "Oh, my family doesn't even know I smoke." And it's a chilling moment where you're like, so you do understand that she could have hidden this from you.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of stupid. The last 20 minutes are fantastic, but the rest of this is just not really worth anything.
Okay.
Also, it's really badly filmed. It feels like a cheap TV show. And I just would not recommend watching it. So
Interesting.
But that's it for the movies we watched outside the wheel spin. And we had some comments here. Wow. All right. I don't even know if you're just joking around there, Fox Pixar. Whatever. All right. Let's go ahead and get what?
I'll get into my short if you want me to.
There you go. What was your short, Kevin?
My short was The Trial of Donald Duck, and this was more of the trial if you can wait to see 7 minutes of this short. It was animation right off the bat, really good still. Old Disney animation, always fantastic, can't go wrong with it. There's no story to this at all. It's Donald Duck goes to an expensive restaurant and doesn't pay, and that's the story. And he gets mad, and he's trying not to get sued by the waiter, which is weird. The waiter's suing Donald Duck. Yeah.
Cartoon logic.
Yeah. And that's it. There's no like happy ending, and Donald Duck gets to wash dishes for 10 days. That was it. So it wasn't really memorable. 67 out of 100.
Well, there you go. My short this week was Kitty Foiled from 1948, which is a Tom and Jerry short. This one introduces a bird character. I don't know if they're given a name, but I did see another member call it. It was kind of funny that this came out after the Cat Concerto and Rhapsody Rabbit fiasco, where like Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry who copied who kind of a thing. But then the bird is like a direct copy of Tweety, except that doesn't talk. Who knows? But this is what I think of when I think of Tom and Jerry. I think of some really good gags. I think of some good animation. I think of some painful moments. There's a part in this where the bird literally pulls a gun on Tom, and Tom the way that Tom backs up is by you see his butt muscles like carry him, and it was like, oh, I was not expecting to see that today. And that was kind of fun. But other than that, yeah, just a typical animated. Like I would say it's a good Tom and Jerry short. I enjoyed this probably more than some of the other ones lately. So,
very cool, very cool.
All right, and your first movie this week?
Yeah, my first movie was Goosebumps, or as Nadia likes to call it, Goobump. And this is the one with Jack Black. If anybody wanted to know, that's set on the wheel, so I had to make sure it was. This was really fun. I think I enjoyed it a lot more just because I watched it with Nadia as well, because she was pointing out all of the little books that they referenced and everything like that. Slappy, I feel like he could have been a lot more scarier. I know it's a PG movie, but make him look a little bit more worn and torn like he does in the books. Villain's really cool though. Jack Black is good. It's not his best. I watched Borderlands, so I already saw him at his worst.
We haven't seen Minecraft yet.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's going anywhere. But yeah, it was just really fun and really enjoyed it. So I gave it a 70 out of 100.
All right. I believe this next pick was a Nadia pick, and
yes, it was.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like your review was very positive either.
No.
I did not like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. I'm going to start off as I did in my review for Letterboxd and say I'm sorry to Octavia Spencer that she had to be in this movie. Octavia Spencer is an Oscar-winning actress. After this movie came out, but she is an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, I know you got to start somewhere, but I'm sorry. There are some fun kills in this movie, but again, a movie is not good because of its kills. It has to have a lot of other things that have to work in its favor, and nothing really works here. There's no likable characters. Not even Michael is likable in this movie. Usually, even in a bad Halloween movie, you can like Michael and what he's doing, right? Like, oh, go kill those characters. They're annoying. Yeah, go Michael, right? But here, it's just nothing. There's nothing to go on. The film is also just relentlessly ugly, in my opinion. I don't think it looks very good. In fact, it feels cheap.
Yeah.
I know the first movie was successful, and because it got a second movie, right? And usually, if your first movie is successful, you give the second one maybe a little bit more budget. This looks like they had a quarter of the budget. It looks really ugly, and I have this sneaking suspicion that Rob Zombie didn't want to make this movie, and maybe it was forced to by the studio.
True. I have a question. Did you like the white horse situation that was happening, or was that just? Do you feel like that was just put in there for no reason?
I appreciate trying to do something new.
Okay.
It's like with Halloween Ends, right? With the way that story went, I can appreciate them trying to do something new with the character and the mythos. I can appreciate that. It just falls on its face. Honestly. I just did not really think it was necessary, but I appreciate that they tried to do something. And it's where the majority of my points came from for this. I appreciate that they tried to do something, but I don't know. But yeah, Halloween 2.
All right. Well, my next one is, sorry, wrong number. And this was actually really good. Older movie. I really enjoyed it. Didn't think I was going to like it, actually. But it's when a woman who is bedridden because of her heart condition gets tapped into a phone line that she hears somebody trying to murder somebody. And back in the day, you can't just redial that same number. It's going through all these telephone operators and everything like that. So it was very interesting to see it that way instead of modern day, which is really cool. But then the story progresses and you realize that she's the one that's going to be murdered at the end. Spoiler alert. Sorry. It's almost a 90-year-old film, but
I haven't seen it, so
I know, but it's still really good. The anticipation and throughout the whole movie, I was wondering what was going to happen next. It never spoils anything, which is super, super nice. So gave it an 81 of 100. I absolutely loved it. It might be just a dark horse movie that people don't know about.
All right. One of those ones you find it on Tubi or on Netflix or Max or something. You just throw it on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the movie that Kevin selected for me this week, because he won the wheel spin, was September 5th. From 2024, last year. And I thought this was a perfectly serviceable thriller. I think that on paper, this is a great idea. We've already gotten films about this subject, like the Steven Spielberg film Munich. But this one is purely from the journalist perspective, the ones that are covering the actual sporting events, the sports channel kind of network broadcast center, right? It's all from their perspective, which is really interesting. I think this comes out at a really weird time because for those of you who don't know what happened during the Munich Olympics, it was Palestinian terrorists taking the Israeli athletes hostage. So it's a little on the nose for this point in time right now. I don't know enough about the situation or anything to comment on it logically or knowledgeably, so I'm not going to. But I think the movie is really well paced. It's only an hour and a half. It feels very similar to Saturday Night in kind of the anxiety and pacing kind of style of it, which I think is really cool. It also looks like it was filmed during the time. The way that they have a filter over the lens and everything, it looks like a 70s film, which I really appreciate. But I think the performances are really good. Everyone really plays their role really well, particularly Sarsgaard and Magaro. I do think that the movie is missing something, though. I don't want to say it's missing a soul. It has a soul and a purpose, but like there's just an X factor that's missing. Like something that's like I don't know why I'm not loving it. Perhaps it's only because it's the studio's point of view and it doesn't give a more nuanced perspective of or an examination of the events, right? But I mean, it's okay. It is, it's a fine movie. This is a movie that a lot of your parents would really, I'm sure your parents would enjoy. It's very similar to Argo in that kind of a movie as well. But I think Argo is a much better movie. So I don't know, but it's still a good movie. Like if you have Paramount Plus and you're looking for something, you could do worse than September 5th.
You can do Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that I didn't even like. I wasn't available streaming anywhere. I literally watched it because a YouTube channel did a commentary over it. And so someone edited because the movie's like, free to the public or whatever. So they edited the commentary into the video, and I was actually able to watch the movie with their joke commentary, and it made it better. So, but I can't judge the movie based on the commentary added. So that undermines the entire purpose. So, but that is it for those. Let's see here. Looking for some good crime docs to watch. So if you know any, let me know. Yeah, there is.
Before you say it, here's the next one.
Oh yeah, we'll do. I will look on. I'll look through my scores and kind of see what ones I would think are the best. Off the top of my head, there's one with the submarine murder on Netflix, which is pretty good.
Okay,
but Rob Zombie Halloween 2 is the worst. Shouldn't have been made. I'm glad we agree. I mean, I don't think shouldn't have been made, but like I think that the heart was in the wrong place. Yeah, they spent their budget on the big white horse.
Yeah.
I don't know why Rob Zombie's wife has to be in every single freaking movie. So, but I appreciate them trying to do something new in the fact that it's also a remake of Halloween 2, the original. It kind of felt like, I don't know. It wasn't good. I don't know why.
No, it wasn't, unfortunately.
Over it.
Wheel spin.
All right. Well, and Fox Pixar's having a meltdown, so we'll let you have that. All right. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and get it up here. So let's go ahead and see if anyone has any suggestions for the wheel. Go ahead and get them in here now. And we'll get it added to the list. We still have almost 300 on here. There is a lot going on. So if you see any suggestions, Kevin, let's go ahead and get them on here so I can type them up. But what are you hoping for this week, Kevin?
I don't know. Maybe I've already reviewed Leprechaun. I was going to say maybe one of the Leprechauns because of St. Paddy's Day coming up. That would be kind of fun to do.
Oh, good point.
I don't know. Nadia was having like a rom-com or something like that. As she watched today, I forget the name of it, but she said that's her like go-to or like comfort.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm feeling. We're going back to just one movie this week because school is starting back up, so kind of makes it harder.
Question real quick.
Are we still adding? Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll throw them on there. It's fine.
Okay.
Whatever you got. I think maybe I said it in passing, didn't really mean it. I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
Also, I think Thanksgiving I have watched.
I haven't watched it yet, I don't think.
The 2023 one?
Yeah, I haven't watched that one.
Okay, I have reviewed it, so I will go ahead and just add your name next to it. Can't Buy Me Love.
That's the one. I couldn't remember that one.
Okay, and 16 Candles, a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a while and have not actually had the time to.
Me neither.
All right. Let's see. Hey, no worries, Joey. Hope you're having a good day. You have any suggestions for the wheel?
Yeah, hopefully it was fun stuff you had to do too. So
you never know, but hopefully it was fun.
He does have some stuff as well.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh gosh. I know that one's like the worst one, I feel like.
And Willow from 1988.
Willow is... Didn't they just remake it or something like that? Or am I thinking of another movie?
I don't know. No, they did a sequel TV show to Willow.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy yet.
Alrighty. Any other suggestions, Kevin?
I don't have any other suggestions.
All right, we'll give another 30 seconds or so.
Yeah. I have to make sure I have a movie for you to be picked out if I get...
True. Do I have one? I don't know. I'll think of one if I get it. All right. All right. Cool. All right, and we'll go ahead and do the spin, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead.
Oh, let's get my short first.
Yeah, let's go for your short, and it will be... Well, it's not Lord of the Flies, because that's a movie. It looks like it's going to be something... Rebel Rabbit, I believe?
Ooh.
Let's find out. Yes, Rebel Rabbit. I could read it, which is kind of crazy. All right, so Rebel Rabbit is your film, Kevin.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and delete it off the list. Shuffle it up. I kind of hope I get the Stalker short. That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Oh, yeah.
It's been on the list for a while.
If I get picked, do you want a long movie or a short movie?
Oh, no! It was one away from Goofy Gymnastics. It was the one below it. Oh, man, that's funny. So, you know what? You hope for something and you don't get it.
It's so close. It's teasing you.
That's just life, right? You hope for something and it doesn't happen.
Do you want a long movie if I get it? Or a short one?
I don't care.
Okay.
As Roger Ebert once said, there is no... I'm trying to remember the exact... I'm going to paraphrase. There is no such thing as a long movie if it's good, but there is such a thing as a long movie if it's bad.
Okay.
I don't know. That's something similar to what he said. I don't have it right in front of me. All right, Kevin, your movie
is...
Watch it land on Lord of the Flies again.
That would be hilarious.
It's like the wheel wants you to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't pick for yourself, but we'll go ahead and shuffle and spin again. I mean, you do get to pick for yourself outside of the wheel spin. The Grapes of Wrath. All right.
Gosh. I haven't heard that since, like, school.
Holy shit. Like, you are... It's from 1940.
Yep.
So... You're legitimately getting like one of the most respected movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 hours though, so not too bad.
No, it's respected, but not streaming anywhere.
It's on Criterion Channel.
Oh, it is? Wait, why don't I have that on there? Okay.
I don't know, but you have it through me, so.
Yep. I'll watch it.
Alrighty, we'll remove Grapes of Wrath and shuffle it up for my movie.
Oh, you've seen Grapes of Wrath?
I saw it back in like high school, but I haven't reviewed it. So,
okay.
Yeah, I do remember it being a good movie when we watched it. I liked it more than the book when I was in high school, but obviously I'm grown up now, so who knows? Mr. Crockett.
Oh, Nadia's pick again.
This is Nadia's Hulu exclusive pick, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe is based on a short film?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, kind of like an evil Mr. Crockett, or Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
So, alrighty. So that is it for the wheel spin this week. Go ahead and stop my sharing. So, I'm going to get rid of that comment on the screen, Kevin. Let's see here. So, Kevin got the short Rebel Rabbit. and the film The Grapes of Wrath. So you're having a 40s type week this week.
I am, and that's okay.
You also had Sorry Wrong Number last week too. So, and then finally we have for myself, I have the short Goofy Gymnastics, which I'm guessing is going to be another one of those shorts. Goofy just watching a bunch of other Goofies do sports, which is going to be weird. And then Mr. Crockett, the Hulu exclusive horror film from Nadia. So glad to see those picks. Some very different movies. But of course, that is it for the wheel spin this week. So luckily, we got some good stuff to watch. The Grapes of Wrath.
The crepes.
And yes, there you go. Should be excited to watch it. Alrighty, but that is going to be it for this week. Oops, excuse me. Not a lot else going on. But hopefully you're all having a good week so far, and hopefully you continue to have a good week. Next up on Friday, we have our movie club episode, which is going to be talking about Close Up, which is an Iranian film, which we're really excited to talk about, from a director, Abbas Kiarostami, who is a big name in the field, which was our first time, both of us first time watching one of his films, so very excited about that. And then the week after that, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, so make sure. I don't know why I'm spoiling the movie 2 weeks out, but you're getting it. But anyhow, and then of course, obviously, those will be live 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this show, which goes live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same time every week. And we'll see you all next week, same time, same place. So until then, keep those eyes on the screen.